Thank you for that great introduction. So I want you all to imagine for a moment that you are in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's 7 a.m. on a Friday late in summer. You're just waking up and you're looking out of your high-rise apartment over the city skyline and you're thinking, another day. So you get up, you eat, you get dressed, and you're off to your last day of your summer internship because in 2 days you have to go back to St. Ambrose to start classes. So you're driving to your work, and you're approaching your last intersection. Your building's right on the right. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's a white truck in front of you, and bam, you crash into him, your airbag deploys, and there's just a brief silence, and all you hear is the traffic going past you. From the survey, I know some of you have been in a car accident and realize how scary this actually is. You try to open the car door, but it's stuck. And you're thinking, how the heck am I going to get out of here? No one's stopping to help. Luckily, a cop comes, pries open the door, you come out, your left foot is in a lot of pain. You look at your car and think, oh my god, it's absolutely totaled. The front and back end are completely smashed. And how am I going to get back to school? So you call your insurance agent, you're talking to the cop and the guy that hit you, trying to figure things out. You also call your friend to come get you since your car is wrecked. After you figure some things out, you and your friend go grab some breakfast and beers to just take the edge off what just happened. Towards the end of your eating, you decide, hey, let's go to Mall of America, 20 minutes away, do some retail therapy. So you guys head out to your car. You guys get in the car and you tell your friend, the dashboard looks kind of crooked. What's going on here? So your friend gets out of the car and looks at the tire, you have a flat tire. And you think, seriously? You guys have no clue how to change a flat. So you have to look at YouTube, you're calling your dad, look at the manual, how do we do this? About an hour later, you get the spare on, bring the hold tire to the repair shop. Turns out, can't be patchable, you need to buy a whole new tire, $200. So you guys decide, no, we're not going to the mall, we're going home, this is ridiculous. So you get back to the apartment and you really have to go to the bathroom. And you're like, I gotta go. So don't take off your shoes, anything, you go right to the bathroom. Do your business, you flush, and all of a sudden the water is just circulating on the surface and it's not going down. And you're like, oh my god. It starts coming up. And pretty soon it's on your feet, it's overflowing, and you're like, what the heck? So you reach in the back of the toilet, shut off the water supply, your friend walks in, you look at them and say, what the heck? This is it. Like, I can't, this day is terrible. Let's just clean this up and watch the news, watch TV, relax. So if someone were to ask you how it's going right now, I'm sure you'd respond with, it's going, or, not that great. So all these events that you just imagined, I actually experienced on Friday, August 15th, 2014. I was tired, discouraged, and defeated. Bruce McEwen, PhD professor at Rockefeller University, and Dean Cram, PhD and professor at University of Wisconsin Medical School, state in their article, it's important to learn to see situations as a challenge and an opportunity, rather than as disasters. So instead of wallowing in my sorrows, I followed these scholars' advice. Something happened that night that drastically changed my views of how my day went and taught me a lesson. To explain to you how my attitude changed about my horrible day, I would like to share with you an event that happened that night. Most of you are probably aware of the world events going on, but I'm sure you haven't thought about how it impacts you. So my friend and I are watching TV, relaxing, we turn on the news, and the world events are on. And the screen looks something like this. And the reporter states, more than 2,600 people have been diagnosed with the Ebola virus, and nearly 1,500 people have died. Dr. Tom Frieden, director for the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, states, it's even worse than I feared. How would you like to feel? How would you feel if you were one of those 2,600 diagnosed people? And with a 55% fatality rate, I'm sure you'd be scared for your life. The next segment that came on was on human trafficking. And I thought, human trafficking, what the heck is that? Like, humans traffic pedestrians? I had no clue. They were interviewing a scholar, and Dr. Amity Etziani, sociologist and professor of international relations at George Washington University, referred to a TV program that stated, in Afghanistan, ravaged by war and poverty, an ancient tradition has been secretly revived. Young boys are being sold to their families, to wealthy merchants, taught to dance and entertain, and then used for sex. Another issue with these victims of human trafficking is that these victims are being drugged and beaten until they perform these sex acts. How would you feel if every night, instead of going home and doing your homework and going to bed, you were forced to be drugged and beaten until you perform sex acts with strange men? Now, I know you've all heard about the ISIS terrorists, but I'm sure you haven't taken time to stop and think, what are these terrorists actually doing? A reporter from CNN states, a video released by ISIS shows the beheading of U.S. journalist James Foley and threatens the life of another American president if Barack Obama doesn't end military operations in Iraq. ISIS has carried out multiple executions, including beheadings, as part of their work to make the Islamic State. So they're videotaping these executions, which are mainly live beheadings, and putting them on YouTube. How would you feel if after being held captive for 2 years with foreigners that look like this, you are about to be executed by being beheaded and then posted on YouTube to see? After watching these stories, I reflected for a bit and thought, wow, I am absolutely blessed. And despite my crappy day, I am laying here in my bed, healthy and safe. As I look back on the day of Friday, August 15th, 2014, really only that evening of watching the news comes to my mind. Yes, I am still dealing with my insurance, and yes, my friend is still paying for that tire. But after putting things into perspective, I understood that my selfish view of agonizing over a bad day was nothing compared to what people around the world are going through. So the next time you are having one of those bad days, remember, it's a hell of a lot better than being held captive as a prisoner, suffering from the Ebola virus, or being a victim of ISIS terrorism. The next time someone asks you, how's it going, I encourage you to smile and say it's going great.